We are live. Should be live. Yes. Good. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's your boy Unlimited Production. Hopefully, I'm loud and clear. Hopefully, y'all could hear me. I see the chat. The chat already started before even I got started, man. But today we're gonna have a lot of fun. This is gonna be one of them nice, short, sweet, hang out with the chat type streams. But it's funny. Starfield came out nearly 3 months ago, and it's still the most talked about game in the gaming industry. And you think for a game that we were told is trash and not being nominated for Game of the Year and so on, you think a game like that would be out of public consciousness, but no. Mm-mm. But what made me want to do today's show is that last night I saw this hilarious thread on Twitter, and it was so funny that I had to talk about it. And then not only that, we get more news coming out today. So we're going to talk about a little bit of everything today, and then we're going to enjoy the rest of our week, man. David Cohen, Adidas 20, and Wilkins. I see y'all in the chat already. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. All right, everybody. Before I get to the comments, let's get this started, man. So shout out to this guy MJ Hernandez, and he pretty much just put Starfield, in my opinion, is the best game to release this year. Now notice how he put the words "in my opinion," and the responses to this are absolutely hilarious. Hey Daya, what's up? What's up, Daya? But the response to this is absolutely hilarious, man. Now again, he said Starfield, in my opinion, is the best game released this year. Now, if this was literally any other game, nobody would give a shit. You probably got a few thumbs up, but not with Starfield. Oh no! The very first response to this wonderful tweet: need to get a PS5, a Switch, a PC if you haven't already. But more importantly, try and play more games, mate. There are some amazing games out there. If you genuinely think Starfield is great, seriously, you're going to be amazed at what actual great games are out there. And he said, I have a PlayStation 5 as well, and I'm still going for Starfield being the best release this year. Yeah, listen, only with Xbox, right? Only with Xbox is your opinion valid, and there are some really good stuff. I promise you. This game was half baked. The quest and story were bland and boring. Crazy amount of bugs on the golden path. By the way, the game was not that fucking buggy. I honestly don't even remember any bugs in Bethesda. Like 90% of Bethesda's titles is trash until modders get to it. This year had excellent titles. Starfield had an uphill battle. Yeah, this has been a great year of gaming. I still think, personally, I'm with Mr. Hernandez here. It's also my game of the year. I just find it funny that someone who literally put, in my opinion, gets all this backlash, man. Baldur's Gate 3 for me is Starfield had dialogue option and freedom and quest that Baldur's Gate had, and Starfield would have won. If you're a true fan of RLSS, then this is definitely game of the year. Oh wow, positive response. And then listen, anytime you see the Spider-Man avatar, wow, this guy got all the PlayStation guys. Spider-Man, the girl from Last of Us. Yeah, but anytime you see the Spider-Man, expect bullshit, right? Right? And so disappointing, and so he pulls some of the. By the way, what's the point of putting up it? And so he pulls out the worst review scores out there. Again, all this guy did was say it's his opinion, right? And this one opinion got all these fucking fanboys just so upset. In a tweet, the guy literally says, in my opinion. And this is what I find just so hilarious. Because I gotta admit, I've never seen a situation like this. Any other time if somebody said, hey, in my opinion, Spider-Man was the best game of the year, there would be no backlash. Matter of fact, the only replies would be people who agree. But for some reason, with Starfield and Xbox, you don't get that luxury. And I saw a brilliant tweet, man, that pretty much sums up everything. Where the guy said, "How's Discord around Xbox always so incredibly stupid?" And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, man. But I see the chat. Let me get to some of these comments real quick, man. So I don't get too far behind in the chat. David Coed said, I don't think ponies realize it, but Spider-Man has a more abysmal player count. And I say that player count for Starfield is decently high, like how, for example, Xbox Game Pass has more subs than PlayStation Plus. Yeah, and to back up what you're saying there, and by the way, there's like a million articles that says that IGN, this dude from IGN, Brian Altano, pretty much responded to Katarko saying why it's hemorrhaging players, but it turns out Starfield currently is doing fine. Apparently has 7 million active players recently, right? And so what you're saying, David, is absolutely right. And this is pretty typical. The narratives don't match. The narratives don't match the truth, but that's why they're narratives. Adidas 20 with the $20 super chat. Thank you, Adidas. Said, just watch, slowly but surely, Pony Media will flip flop. Xbox improving so much they will have to bow down. Well, right now they're not flopping. I mean, it's we're still getting these negative Starfield articles, right? We're still getting just and then then the narrative they're trying to pull out today apparently about Xbox want to be third party, some stupid shit. So we've got a bit to go there, Adidas, before that happens, and I think it's going to be years, man. I think it's going to be years, but before that even ever happens. So I don't know about that, Adidas. I'm not seeing it. If anything, I'm seeing the better Xbox does, the more negative content in articles and videos and stuff we get. It's weird. You think after 2013 and addressing all the criticism, getting more games, getting more exclusives, getting more power, that they'd be happy. But these fanboys, excuse me, the gaming media, they're more miserable than ever. I mean. But that's because they really want Xbox to fail, but now they got to pretend, your usual fake neutral nonsense. David Cohen, it's not decently high, it's still top 10 most played game on Xbox. Yep. In Starfield, I was trying to hijack a ship on the ground, and I got in, and then the ship took off into space, and I hijacked it. No other game is doing that. Yeah, absolutely right there, Wilkins. But back to the replies, man, because again, I gotta iterate, because the guy literally, it's one thing if Mr. MJ Hernandez here said, some fanboy shit like man, Starfield's the greatest thing ever. You suck it, ponies. But he just literally said in a very calm and nice tweet, Starfield, in my opinion, is the best game to release. And everybody here is just somehow trying to prove him wrong for some reason. Like, how do you prove somebody's opinion wrong? It's literally an opinion, right? And this is kind of what I want to hammer home tonight. Only with Xbox are you not allowed to have an opinion. Apparently, you've got. And by the way, look at all these lame ass gamers who can't think for themselves, right? This tweet that you see here, the best response, because this is so stupid and so hilarious that man, this show's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree. Starfield is up there with Hi-Fi Rush. Sorry about the mistake. Yeah, I love both games, man. Hi-Fi Rush is my favorite game from early this year. I'm not a Bethesda RPG guy, but I can see why Starfield gets glowing praise and Hi-Fi Rush is my jam. I like different game genres than others' Game Pass. Yeah, man. Oh, listen, I've been singing Hi-Fi Rush praise since it released. That game is phenomenal. Oh, I see Joe Sinister 100. What's up, 100? Hey, Dea, how are you? The first lady at chat. And the homie Coco Fiend is here. That's what's up, man. but this tweet. So okay. Imagine this. Someone tells you their opinion. In this case, Starfield's the game of the year, and you get this nonsense. This is your opinion, and like most of your opinions, you are in the minority. Who cares? Who gives a shit if your opinion is in a minority? Again, people like these PlayStation fanboys who are so upset about this guy's opinion, right? People like them, I've come to the conclusion that they need to have their existence validated. They cannot enjoy a game unless others do so. And even though, listen, and I've been saying it for years. If you like a game I don't like, be my guest. I hate Horizon Forbidden Entertainment. Hate that fucking game. If you like it, I ain't stopping you. But this idea that your opinion in a minority, who gives a shit, right? It's called an opinion for a reason. You are entitled to your opinion, but that doesn't mean that is the consensus among the whole community. If you enjoy it, great. Majority didn't enjoy it as much as you. Yeah, that's how opinions work, you dumbass. If you like something others don't, it doesn't invalidate it. It doesn't stop you. It doesn't change anything. It's still his fucking game of the year. Listen, I do not need IGN to tell me that a game is great to enjoy a great game. And if you need that, I feel bad for you because there's been some shitty games that's been loved and there's been some great games that's been praised. And obviously not in every situation, but I'll never forget Metal Gear Solid 5 had amazing reviews. And that's the most empty, one of the most empty, dull open world games I've ever seen. And Coco Fiend said, "What's up, chat?" Saying with Daya. Starfield hits a sore spot for the ponies. They will always hate it. They will always. I'm reading like a dumbass here. They will always hate that. It's what's keep from them. They will always hate that it was kept from them, and it wasn't kept from them. And I get it. Sony was trying to buy. And by the way, if Sony paid for this game off Xbox, let's be real. The reaction to Starfield will be the polar opposite than it is right now. Because when it was rumored to be coming to PlayStation as exclusive, time exclusive, they were hyped. Mega Bomb, Xbox is dead. Xbox can't compete with this, and the Xbox community would have been bitching right now too. So yeah, yeah, they feel that way, and it's nice to see some positive responses to hear too. And here's the thing, Daya, the media also is also, because this article right here was posted yesterday, so the media is also still doing this weird anti-Xbox thing, and it's going to keep back, and it's reached the point where it's backfiring because people are playing these games. They're enjoying these games, and they're being sick and tired of being told what their experience isn't valid. And that's the issue when you shit on people's opinion. I mean, it's to the point where even someone like Mr. Maddie Plays, someone who's just a neutral YouTuber said, "I understand that some people were disappointed by Starfield, and I'm not trying to take away from that, but the SEO farming by constantly attempting to drag this game has been beyond egregious." And he's absolutely right. But that doesn't matter to them. That doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Because for a lot of these sites, this clickbait headline, this is going to be one of the most popular articles they put out this week. Matter of fact, let's take a trip. Let's see what other articles Kotaku got going on. Yeah, nobody's clicking on this. Nobody cares about this. This lady who spent $17 million on fruit. Nobody really don't give a fuck about Destiny 2. Sonic 3, that could be a cool movie, but let's be real. The headline, this headline here got 94 comments. The Starfield one got 209 comments, more than double that. So that's a big part of why they did. And they said for the ponies, Xbox gamers are not allowed to be happy with Xbox games. They want us all to be miserable. That's what they love to see. Yeah, not only do they want us to be miserable, they want us to like what they like. And it doesn't matter if Spider-Man has boring side quests or Mary Jane is somehow more powerful than fucking literal superheroes in the game, right? As just because the game says only on PlayStation on the box, they think that automatically makes it better, and that's nonsense. What's up, 100? Yeah, man. Oh, check out 100's channel. He does the Day One podcast every Saturday, and then he does his own solo podcast. They're always fantastic, always entertaining. Hey, what's up, Batman? But yeah, back to what I was talking about here, man. I'm with you here. It's still one of my favorite playthroughs. 10 days, 4 hours, and before anyone says anything, I own a PlayStation 5. It barely gets switched on. Damn, Charles, Charles, man, you could have stole my comment there. That's some. I barely play my PlayStation 2, man. I feel you. Your boy Unlimited does not dropping $70 to play fucking Spider-Man 2 on a console I don't even touch. And like I said, I got my own Sony tax, y'all, and my Sony tax is $20 and under. That's what I'm buying this bullshit. If I can't get it for that, or if my brother or somebody don't gift it to me, I ain't paying no 40, 50, 60, $70 just to fucking watch long ass boring cutscenes. We need to do a show for the new year, talk about the games coming in the Xbox platform in 2024. Oh, damn, we're 100% going to do that. You know, we're also going to do our own favorite game of the year show. So I'm thinking, you know, we pick like our 3 favorite games and talk about why we like them and stuff. Something very positive to end the year. You know, hopefully the chat could get in on that too when we do. That's going to be later, about middle of December, probably around December 15th or so. Joe Sinister, the homie Joe Sinister said, these people don't play games, they play Twitter. Yeah. And here's the thing, Joe. There's a reason why these type of headlines are so popular, right? And I gotta come to the same conclusion you do, Joe, because if you're busy playing games, you're not gonna be spending all your time reading this bullshit, right? You're not gonna be spending on your time keep trying to find new ways to shit on Starfield and all this stuff. You know, just because it's an Xbox game, and they're gonna keep doing that. All right, listen. As soon as Xbox purchased Call of Duty Modern Warfare, what happened? Oh, it's the worst Call of Duty ever. Immediately, they didn't even wait a year. They didn't even wait a microsecond. You know, and that's how good we have it on Xbox. There's something I saw earlier about how Modern Warfare 3 was more played than since 2019 or something like that. I want to put on screen, but I can't find it, unfortunately. I bought Hi-Fi Rush, fantastic game. Yeah, it is fantastic, Daya. Easily in my top 3 games of the year. I think it's that brilliant. They are the most insecure fan base in all of gaming. Oh yeah, oh definitely. Look, listen. When one of the people who responds to an opinion literally says, "Your opinion is in a minority," what are the like? Who plays a game? And again, please, I'm begging for the person who ever played a game, enjoyed it, and said, "I can't like this game because IGN gave it a 7. I can't like this game because it didn't get nominated for Game of the Year." And I will call you a loser to your face, because there's nothing more loserish than playing, enjoying something, but you can't embrace what you enjoy because others don't. What kind of nonsense is that? Especially something subjective like video games. You know, we're not talking about fucking political discourse or nothing. Video games. You never see Xbox or Nintendo guys do that. Yeah, again, Joe. If somebody said my favorite game of the year was Forspoken or Spider-Man, people just let it go. Yeah, and the most replies would be positive stuff like, "Yeah, it's my favorite game too. This, and that." And by the way, my favorite meme, right? That's not how you play. I always love the quit having fun meme, man. That's always brilliant. Flip Mode said, "Starfield is one of the first major releases that is ruined by its own fans. There has never been a game that has come out where its own fan base makes you want to root against it like Starfield." What does that mean? What are you talking about? What has Starfield done? What has the Bethesda or Xbox community done that makes you want to root against the game? Why? Because people were excited before release? That's how every game before release is. I'm hyped for Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon Dogma 2 just had a cool little showcase of gameplay the other day. Looks phenomenal. Do you want me to say, "Oh well, I can't"? I mean, we gotta wait until the review said no. If I'm excited for the game, I'm gonna come up here and say, "Yeah, I can't wait to play that fucking game like everybody else." They they seen the need. Digital Foundry, IGN, and Game of the Year to validate their games. We on the other side do not. Yeah, and listen, I'm going to die on that hill. That is not even important. Again, if you need IGN, a fucking stupid ass video game award, or Digital Foundry to tell you a game is great, I can't help you, man. I can't help you. You're only gonna like a very small subset of games because they're notorious for liking certain games. That's why I call the PlayStation game Oscar bait. Hey, what's up, Zinc? Hey, no problem, man. Hey, this is one of them solo shows, man. I'm just here, hang out for a little bit, then we're gonna go back to enjoying our week. You know, I'm not trying to do a fucking 3 hour podcast today. Mr. Matty plays his opponent. Yeah, and here's the thing: even a broken clock is right twice a day, Zinc. So if even he's noticing that the gaming media and everybody just dragging Starfield for no reason is too much. What do you think people who actually like these games feel? You know what I'm saying? If somebody just can't come up and say, if someone can't come up and say, hey, I like this. I like Starfield, and a whole bunch of people just bum rush him, say, "No, you don't. This is why it sucks." Does that really sound like a gaming community to you? That sounds like trash. Why would I want to be a part of this community if you can't like what you like? What that's anti community, man. I don't know what the term for anti community is off the top of my head, but you know what I'm fucking mean. Hey, Unlimited, have you played id Software's Rage 2? Yeah, man, Rage 2 is a dope game. I don't think it's great, but I enjoyed it when I played it. I had a good time with it. Unlimited, did you see the article Sarah Bond made recently about more back compat on Xbox for Xbox Series era ABK because the article has some meaning and foreshadowing? No, I haven't. And I gotta look that up because I have no clue what you're referring to, or no clue what the article is. Do you know who published this article by any chance? David Cohen. Because I'd love to put it on screen and break that down too while I'm here. So I am that's news to me. But that sounds excellent, man. Because I thought the backwards compatible I thought the backwards compatible program kind of reaches its lifespans, if you will. But not, but yeah, man, I'm gonna look that up. That sounds phenomenal news for Xbox. And again, on Xbox, we're gonna get even more games, more backwards compatibility. Looks like it's gonna be some Activision stuff dropping. I see why that. I see why the PlayStation fans are mad. Hey, what's up, Tuckmaster? How are you? Cypher Type said, random thought of the day. I wonder if these outlets and publications and content creators are so-called neutrals will talk about the inconsistency and release of quality of PlayStation 5 games from 2021 to 2023. No, they won't, Cypher. A matter of fact, they're opposite. The way that they talk, they pretend that Sony is just knocking it out the park and releasing a brand new AAA exclusive every week. By the way they talk, you know. They don't ever call out Sony for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't. That ain't gonna happen. Sony's their baby, man. Sony gets that ultra mega protection. You know, listen. Sony is so dry right now that they're literally remastering a 3-year-old game, The Last of Us 2, to resell you. And not only that, you got to pay for the upgrade as well. Does that sound like a brilliant console? That sounds like trash. That sounds awful. I mean, if I had to pay for Gears 5 upgrade, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'd be upset at that because I'm like, I already own the fucking game. Why am I paying just to replay it at a slightly higher resolution? That's bullshit. Quit having fun. Yeah, my favorite meme, man. My favorite meme is the quit having fun meme. There's a good one I saw earlier. Let me see if I could find it and put it on screen. So I got a good laugh out of that. And oh, here it is. Let me save that. Hold on, man. This was a real good one. Downloads. that Yeah, this one made me laugh. You know, you had this guy here. He was this guy, I think he was one of the developers, right? One of the or so-called developer that was shitting on Starfield, IGN, and the PlayStation fanboys all screaming to quit having fun. They can you imagine being upset because somebody likes a video game? You know, as much shit as I talk about Sony, guys, when I'm done here, I do not worry about that fucking company. I don't play games be like, huh, suck it, or suck it, PlayStation fanboys. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just enjoying Starfield. Matter of fact, I've been playing some Gears 5 again. Brilliant game. Killer Instinct just got a new free update. Hey, what's up, Sega man? Thank you for joining. Killer Instinct just got a new free update on Xbox Series X. You know, at no extra charge, by the way. It didn't need to. Xbox didn't need to charge you $10 to fucking play a game you already own. If you already own it, just put it in your console, and boom, you good. You good, man. So yeah. So that's how great things are over here. And so at this point, when I see the way backlash of somebody's opinion saying, he literally says, in my opinion, Starfield's the best game on the release, and these fanboys are so insecure that they can't accept an opinion. What does that tell you? You know, what does that tell you, man? That tells you that yeah, like Joe Sinister said, they're an insecure group. Xbox fans aren't supposed to be hyped for upcoming games, apparently. Yet Wolverine hasn't shown a single second of gameplay, and it's Many's number one upcoming game. Yeah, a game that's not even coming out in 2024. You know, by the way, and they hyping it to the moon. But by the way, that's all they got to hype up. Well, okay, I take that back. Sony paid for that Stellar Blade game to be off Xbox, so that was supposed to be multi-plat. By the way, how Stellar Blade not considered stolen from Xbox when it was originally announced as Project Eve? It was originally come to Xbox and PlayStation and PC, right? How's that not? And that was officially announced. You know, it's not like the Starfield or Redfall where it technically wasn't announced, but it was going to be multi-plat before Xbox bought them. You know what I'm saying? How's this game, this Project Eve or Stellar Blade, um, uh, Xbox release appear to be scraps? Because you know what I'm saying? So it's weird that they marched to the beat of this drum of Starfield was stolen from us, Redfall was stolen from us, Hi-Fi Rush was stolen from us, but with the other way around, crickets. Hey man, that's business for you. Rage 2 was freaking awesome. Lots of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Daya, long time lurker, first time chatter. Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, Cypher Type. I'm glad you decided to comment, man. And even if you don't comment, I still appreciate the views and support. You guys are you know how it is, man. You guys are amazing. I love the chat. Yeah, Daya and Daya welcoming. That's why she the first lady of chat, man. Welcoming the newcomers. Hope Microsoft brings backwards compatibility. I hope so too, Batman. However, from my understanding, due to like legal and technical issues and stuff like that, and the way backward compatibility is done on the Xbox One and Series X consoles, when they start the program, I think that they pretty much tested every possible Xbox 360 game, an original Xbox game, and again, another issue with the backwards compatibility thing, Batman, is that remember a lot of those devs publishers don't even exist anymore. So I have no clue how the rights for stuff like that works. No clue, and I'm thinking that they ran into a brick wall with that as well, where it's like, okay, we'd love to bring X game, but say maybe THQ isn't around no more, and nobody really owns the license. I again no clue how that works, but I think that's the big reason why why we don't have a few more backwards compatible games too. But I'd be all over it, man. Love the backwards compatibility program. Hell, I recently picked up the Series S for under $200, and that's kind of my backwards compatible machine right now, man. But hey, if what Cohen said, David Cohen said earlier, and Sarah Bonds hinted at more backwards compatibility, we might be in for another treat. And with Xbox, you literally never know these days because they just give us content after content after content after content after content. I mean, so many games are in the works that they're I'm not kidding. We might have a whole generation of games that was announced in these first 3 years or so, right? We might have their whole generation. That's how many games has been announced. A solid what good 30 40 first party games, man. That's wild. I've never seen anything like that from Xbox or any platform or any console maker. Uh, you guys pull the thoughts from my mind, speak them from me. Hey, thank you, Cypher, man. I'm glad we could do that for you, man. You very welcome, very welcome. I have a future theory for game collectors. The Xbox Series X will be worth more in the future because of backwards compatibility and everything moving digitally. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, I think that and for anyone more technically savvy than me, please feel free to correct me. I think SSDs don't have as long as a lifespan as the other consoles saving methods. So that might be a minor issue where these consoles will need to be repaired a bit more in the future or after their lifespan, if you will. But yeah, definitely, man. And then not only that, Coco thing, with these Xbox consoles, you could go in developer mode and emulate games that way too. I was blown away when Gears 5 dropped in the One X, and even more so when it got the Series update. IMO, one of the best looking games ever, and oh my god, it's a blast. Yeah, I think Gears is one of the best games ever made, in my opinion, as well. That was my game of the year way back in 2019, and it's one of the games that I love to just install from time to time and jump back in. You know what I'm saying? I got more than one Xbox profile, so I'm probably gonna get more achievements when I redo Hive Busters or the campaign or Horde mode or something. But yeah, Gears is a beautiful, spectacular game. Uh, Dea said the cipher type. I feel the same way when I first started lurking. I know how it is to finally bite the bullet and speak with the chat. Best thing I ever did. Yeah, and you've been a blessing to the community and to the Unlimited True family there, Dea. Cipher said to Unlimited myself. That seems to be the running narrative against Xbox. The moment Redfall dropped, everyone was like, "Look, it's like Crackdown all over again." Yeah, and like Crackdown, I love the game despite what the critics say because unlike PlayStation fans, like this guy here, Mister Muzz, who needs his opinion validated. I play games the general media hates all the time and love them. I do not give a shit what a review score says. I play a game. If I like it, it's a good game. It's that simple. It's really that simple for me. And I think that should be the standard for everybody else. If you play a game that the media hates, but you're like, man, I really love this game, that is a good game. Don't let me, don't let Daya, don't let Sega Man, don't let anyone in the chat, don't let anyone on IGN, don't let Destin Legary, don't let anybody tell you otherwise because that's your experience and that matters more than what anybody else says, in my opinion. I mean, again, who gave these YouTubers, who gave IGN, who gave someone as boring as Jeff Keighley the power to dictate what a good game is? Seriously, why? Because they reviewed it for a living? Who gives a shit? They didn't develop it. They didn't put no love in the game. They didn't do. All they did is wait for that shit to be finished like we did, and then put their stupid ass opinion, and people somehow validate it. Man, go fuck yourself on that. They can't handle when Xbox people speak their mind. Yeah, and it pisses. And some of them are just flat out cultish, man. where they get legitimately offended when you don't just worship PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? The console that has literally resold you the whole PlayStation 4 library, you know, that's resold you the PlayStation 4 library is what they pretend is better than Xbox. Man, get out of here. Matter of fact, let's do a little homework. Let's do a little homework. All right, I went to GameStop.com and I typed in The Last of Us, and look at this. Look at this, man. You literally got PlayStation 4 remastered for the PlayStation 4, a greatest hits version, and a PlayStation 5 version. But I see the and The Last of Us 2 remastered and coming soon. Really, this is brilliant. Being resold the same shit you just played. And by the way, the first Last of Us is the first Last of Us is what? Oh, it's a PS3 game. Let's look at Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, that's right. It's a PlayStation 4 game resold on the PlayStation 5. God damn it. Oh, okay. Oh, I know Horizon. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be one that hasn't been put on PlayStation in. That's gotta be one that hasn't been put on PlayStation 4. Nope, it's a PlayStation 4 version of that fucking game too. Man, so you see what I mean here when why I'm just not impressed. Oh wow, Sony resold me the same shit I've been playing the last decade. Well, what a great fucking console. I mean, Naughty Dog is so good, I'll gladly pay $70 for The Last of Us. Meanwhile, we got to hear every day about how terrible Xbox is, man. Yeah, so I just wanted to do a little homework to show you an example of what I mean about all these games on PlayStation being resold. The whole fucking library. What was that one with the dude from The Walking Dead? Death Stranding. Oh, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version of that too. Brother, I tried that new Killer Instinct with the upgrades. It's awesome. Yo, I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm gonna try it too this weekend. But right now, you like your boy Unlimited is still on Starfield because, like a lot of people, you do a bunch of, you know. By the way, did y'all see that guy who? And this shit blew my mind. He's on his 34th playthrough, right? And then he reached a universe in Starfield where he met himself. That blew my fucking mind. Yo, that's how many different multiverses there are on Starfield. And again, that's why when I keep hearing how terrible the game is, I just don't see it. What other game is that detailed that you could literally meet yourself in different multiverses? David Cohen said, Shan did a live stream about what Sarah Bond said about adding more support for back compat. Also, I don't think the backward compatibility program is over. It was put on hold since I can still play old games on my Series X. When I say it's over, I mean I didn't think that they were putting any more new games in the program. Oh, it's not going away. You know, going forward, playing every generation of Xbox on the most recent Xbox consoles is a thing. And it's one of their best selling points, in my opinion. As someone like me who loves, say, the Ninja Gaiden games, you could put Ninja Gaiden 2 in your console and boom. Hell, matter of fact, the most underrated Batman game, Batman Arkham Origins, you could play it on Xbox One and Series X and S. Well, maybe not. If you own it digitally on the S, I'm sure you can. But I think that one's disc only, actually. System Elite said they can blame Sony for them not getting Starfield. If they weren't trying to lock down everything, Microsoft may not have been so quick to get ZeniMax. Yeah, that's true. Because if you remember, when Phil found out Starfield was going to be paid for off Xbox, that's when he bought Bethesda. Let me find that article. Okay, here it is. So yeah, you're absolutely right there, Shizdo. Uh-oh. Where did I put? Here it is. Yeah, so Microsoft acquired Bethesda after hearing Starfield would be exclusive to PlayStation. So yeah, it is their fault. You know, it's not Sony. Listen, let's not forget, Sony was being praised for going to every third-party publisher to pay for games on Xbox, and Xbox responded by saying, "Fuck it, we'll just own the bitch." Joe Simpson said there are still many great games that aren't yet backwards compatible that I'm looking forward to. Oh, 100%. Because of the hundreds of games, you know, there's still hundreds more that aren't, you know, but the backwards compatible program is still brilliant. Yeah, a lot of those older game rights are probably a mess. Yeah, man. Because let's not forget, a lot of Xbox 360 exclusive games like Bullet Witch and all that stuff. You know, some of the maybe smaller games, maybe they weren't published by Xbox first party at the time, are not backwards compatible. And I would love if some of them did, man. There are a lot of great games from that era. That would I love to play on my current console. Yo, what's up, Silver Swagger 128? Man, we good, man. Yeah, that Killer Instinct update is really good. Good. I mean, was Xbox really going to fumble the bag on Killer Instinct? Hell, if anything, I'd love to see if they had a sequel to it. You know, I don't know what developer who specializes in fighting games they could get, but that would be fantastic. Cypher Type said, and backwards compatible was only over because they exhausted all theirs in Cinemax games. But now that the Activision, now they have ABK, yeah, you're right, man. The sky's the limit with what they could do with that. Could you imagine if they get some of them licensed games, Transformers, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Spider-Man Edge of Time, and stuff like that? Oh, it's game over. It's game over. Your boy Unlimited, man. Your boy Unlimited gonna be doing backflips on stream. I mean, even without the licensed stuff, they still got great library they could make backwards compatible. Wilkins said, "Hey, Unlimited, I'm in playthrough 16 of Starfield. I'm never gonna stop playing. Still discovering new things and getting new story content. Official mod support to Xbox is coming next year too. Yeah, man. And when that comes, that's gonna be another bump in gamers played. And then we're gonna see Starfield has 20, 30 million players by then. Mark my words there. It's gonna get the Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite treatment. Storage has always been a short shelf life due to the way it's advanced." Yeah, good point there, Cypher. Shiznoli said, there are still certain few I want back on Pat. Stranglehold. Oh, Lollipop Chainsaw, Wet, Riddick, Butcher Bay, and Dark Athena. Excellent choices. And here's the thing, man. I could have sworn Wet was backwards compatible. And I still own I own a copy of Wet, right? And I remember putting in my Xbox, I could have sworn that game was one of the backwards compatible game. And then when I put it in and said this game is playable, I'm like, what? No. So I had a bit of a Mandela effect when it came to Wet, man. But Lollipop Chainsaw, excellent game. I love that was backwards compatible too. I know they're doing a remake, but still. JCon79, what's up, Luna and everyone? I see they dropped Remnant from the Ashes and Remnant 2 in the Game Pass. I have to try them. Whoa, I did not realize Remnant 2 was in Game Pass as well. That's dope. You see, I saw that game on sale, and I was going to pick it up, but I decided not to. So I'm definitely check that out. I heard really, really good things about Remnant 2. And Remnant from the Ashes, if I remember correct, was a pretty fun game. Shizno Elite said, I hate people that put so much into what the media says. Game journalists aren't really gamers anymore. That's why they mainly score movie games best. Gameplay and fun doesn't matter to them. Listen, if I'll do you one better, Shizno. A lot of them think gaming's in a terrible place right now. And to that I say, stop only playing Madden, Call of Duty, and FIFA. But I digress. But still, man, I'm with you, man. For a lot of these people in the media, it's just a job to them. You know, for us, it's a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's a culture, it's a family. To them, it's just, all right, what we got. You know, some of them, listen, You know how it is. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, man, I do not feel like doing work today. But you go anyway because you need to bring home the bacon. And that's how it is with these game journalists. I guarantee that there are times Jeff Keighley does not want to fucking talk about Xbox, but he's got a meeting. Phil Spencer's going to be there, so he puts on. Well, I can't really say he puts on his best face because he never looks. Jeff Keighley, and this Jeff Keighley, by the way, I got to say, is one of the worst hosts for any type of medium because he never that has Jeff. The only time I've ever seen Jeff look excited, happy, enthused is when his lover Kojima is on stage. Other than that, he always has that monotone deadpan to him. He always got that blank expressionless look, and he always and if there's anything that people like, let's say something happens and the crowd cheers, he'll do that weird half smile thing where you know he doesn't give a shit, but he's trying to feed off the energy of the crowd. He's a terrible host, in my opinion. I have no clue how this guy made it so far, other than the fact that he was there in the late '90s, I think. Because I remember seeing even when he was on G4 TV, a channel I used to watch religiously as a teen. He was the least. He didn't really have a presence. Because I don't even remember him hosting anything other than kind of sort of being a guest appearance sometimes, or maybe he'll host an interview. But he wasn't the star of anything like Attack of the Show or X Play or Judgment Day or Arena or Filter or anything like that. So yeah, man, that's my Jeff Keighley rant of the night. Batman: The Darkest Knight said, now that Microsoft owns Activision, I wonder if we will get some of the Xbox 360 Spider-Man games come to Xbox. Oh, I'd love that because my favorite Spider-Man game is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Remember that was the one where you played as the 4 different Spider-Man. You know, the Noir Spider-Man 2099, and I forgot what the other one was. Right, and that was the other, you know, and then one of the missions, for example, you fight Deadpool at the wreckage yard and stuff. That was an awesome game. In my Obi-Wan voice, there was a time many moons ago where video games were considered art, and as such is judged subjectively by those who individually consume them. Apparently, those days are gone. Yeah, unfortunately. That would be cool. Hey, yes, Unlimited. I already got through that universe. It's epic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one where you meet yourself. Yeah, that blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie, that blew my mind. Also, none of the Last of Us remakes come with Hey, Zink, man. Zink with the comment of the night. He said none of the Last of Us remakes come with factions. That's absolutely true, man. A game that's been resold to you like 5 times still don't have factions. Hey, hold on. Let me see if I could find something here, man. Does y'all remember last year when Neil Druckmann said that they're going to show more factions this year? That game is dead, by the way. That game is dead. even if they scrounge up a few employees and force them to work 80 hours a day to get that bitch out, ain't nobody gonna play it. That game is dead. Dead. And if it ever comes out in 2090, it's gonna be dead on arrival. You can be your own companion in Starfield, and the convos you have with them is in flames. Yeah, that I gotta find that universe now, man, because that's mind blowing to me. Ponies think they are wiser than Xbox fans is dumb. Yeah, and what's funny, David, is that anytime they open their mouths, you realize that they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about. I kid you not. I saw someone, and this made me laugh so hard. Someone on Twitter legit said something to the lines of. So the Sony still got their deal with Activision. So when PlayStation fans are buying Call of Duty, none of that money goes to Microsoft. And I'm like, I couldn't even respond to that stupidity. I just thought in my head, this dummy really thinks him buying Call of Duty doesn't go to Microsoft pockets. But that's what these guys are. A lot of them are just idiots who need to feel important. I'd gush more about Starfield, but I don't want to spoil too much. Like E-Rock did that one night. So many special moments. Yeah, I remember that, man. And the chat was like, E-Rock, stop spoiling things. That was hilarious. I believe Todd Howard himself told Microsoft that Sony was trying to get the exclusivity. I believe you're right. I believe you're right, Joe. Because let's not forget, Todd and Phil are good friends, man. Contrary to what people pretend, contrary to what people pretend, right? Um, Microsoft Phil doesn't just bulldoze his way into these companies and just be buying them like they're fucking stock options. I thought Sarah was a plant. If you know, you know. 20 plus days of my math is mathing in Starfield, and I have no rush to jump in a new game plus yet. Just started to learn outpost building and trying to build up my ship combat to perfect the Vanguard simulator. Yeah, and that's the beauty of Starfield, Cypher. No matter what you do, you're gonna have a unique and fun experience in the game. And then when the mod support comes, it's gonna be even the next level to that. They already have Iron Galaxy back on Killer Instinct. The sequel is inevitable, I think. Oh, the sequel would be brilliant. Again, it's been a decade. And while it's great to get an Xbox Series X enhanced version, a new one would be even better. Hell, go ahead and go all in with it and give us like Marcus Phoenix, give us Kate Diaz. You know what I'm saying? Give us Master Chief. Give us the homie from Halo Wars 2, the villain from that game. Go all in with the next Killer Instinct Xbox. I'm glad that Xbox are keeping Killer Instinct update. Wonder if this will lead to Iron Galaxy making a sequel. Funny thing is, Joe Sinister literally said that they got him back on Killer Instinct. So yeah, I'd love that too, guys. Seriously, Remnant 2 is in Game Pass. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, man, I heard great things about that game. I definitely think Killer Instinct 2 is happening. I hope so. Ozink said, I'd like Brute Force to be backwards compatible. Yeah, same here, man. Matter of fact, I picked up Brute Force recently when I was doing some retro game buying. I picked it up, man. And great trip down memory lane with that game. He said, "Oh my God, gaming is better now than ever. I have great memories of previous gens, but all the new IPs we get and the new style of gaming just gets better every year for me." Yeah, and I feel the same way. And just look at what Xbox has dropped this year alone. Even if you take away their big heavy hitters, you still got games like Ravenlock, Jasant, and all the great stuff on Game Pass. I mean, just a phenomenal year. Just a really phenomenal year. David Cohen said, I consider my favorite Batman game Lego Batman. Hey, that's what's up, man. Which one? Because there are like 3 of them. Yeah, no way they brought back Iron Galaxy to only do an update. Hey, man, listen, Phil be making moves, so we'll never know. Spider-Man Edge of Time was an awesome game. Yeah, that was a good one, too. Web of Shadows is good. By the way, Web of Shadows is needlessly expensive on the retro game market right now. Some people sell it for over $100, and I'm like, listen, that's a good game, but I ain't paying $100 for a 10+ year old game. You could kiss my ass with that. Excuse my language. Factions is not the name of the game. Hype for a game with no name. Yeah, man. The game ain't even coming out there, Vaca. By the way, what's up, Dr. Vaca? Bethesda Software went to help Xbox to get them Fallout 4 running properly. Microsoft and Bethesda have been tight since the OG. Yep. Let's not forget, Morrowind. Morrowind was only on Xbox and PC when it first dropped. That reminds me. Did y'all see the pic of Fallout Amazon Prime show? Yeah, it looked pretty good. And David Cohen said the original Batman Legends. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And so, but before I close out the show, I got to talk about this article. This is another one where, all right. So it's kind of funny. The last 10 years, if you've been an Xbox gamer, you've dealt with a lot of bullshit. A lot. And it all started in 2013. Which everyone still pretends was just the disaster launch and didn't have games, and they get the E3 mixed up with the official reveal all the time. So when I saw this article, and it said 10 years later, the Xbox One vision everyone rejected has become reality, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't ignore it. I could not ignore this because, once again, just like the Quantum Break article a few weeks ago, where the gaming media is now admitting that Quantum Break was a good game and they hated it because it was on Xbox. It seems like oh, they embrace what Xbox was trying to do 10 years ago. They embrace it and they love it. Because remember, y'all used to complain about stuff about not owning, not reselling games. Y'all buy digital. I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur who still buy physical games. I'm the one who's still stuck in the past. Y'all on today. Y'all to 80 to 90% of y'all watching, who don't watch, who hate, who don't hate, who are on PlayStation, Nintendo, doesn't matter. Even Nintendo, about 75% of their games are bought digitally. Nintendo. A console that you got to hook up your phone to some stupid shit for voice chat. Even they have embraced digital, but it's kind of funny, man. That's in this article. This article kind of blew my mind again because it's funny how it took a decade for a lot of them to finally just admit that all the hate they threw was bullshit. Yeah. Cypher said the greatest tragedy in gaming is that everyone forced Xbox to change their strategy with the Xbox One. I want to say that's the greatest tragedy, but what's funny, Cypher, is that what Xbox vision was, they embrace and they love now. So just prove, as Joe Sinister said, they were ahead of the game. And so the guy said the Xbox One launched in November 2013. We live as one of the most interesting console launches in history, and certainly the most interesting for me to witness. So many ambitious plans, missteps in communicating them, lack of clarity around how and whys, and an undeniable arrogance that led to Microsoft losing the worst possible generation. Now, to that, I actually thought the communication was fine. Okay, maybe Don Matrix's infamous quote about you have a 360 if you don't have internet or something. Maybe that, but other than that, no. When they said stuff like you buy this game and then up to 9 people could play it, that's not really confusing. But the truth of the matter is that Xbox went first. They had a vision. They're going to push gaming and not only gaming, but the way we consume entertainment forward, which, by the way, we all embrace because, listen, I use my Xbox every day. And it's my media player as well. And I know for a lot of people, it's their media player too. Right? And he said there was little room for nuance back then. Oh my God, that's the truth. Yeah, boy, no nuance. You were either a police state supporter who was okay with your Xbox phoning home every few days, or you're happy to stick a camera and mic array in your living room, or you were a gamer, trademark, savior of the consumer who rejects all that nonsense without really unpacking why. You couldn't come out and say that game preservation is important, but we're going to inevitably lose some rights as the march of time is dictated by capitalism. Nor was there any chance you'd be taken seriously. He said, well, some of those ideas are actually terrific, but Microsoft heavy-handed appeal for them ruins the case. And this part was really true. Where because I remember specifically in like 2013 where if you said anything positive about Microsoft, especially the first few years, right, of the 8th generation, you got land blasted no matter what. I mean, my gosh, even if you said, man, the Kinect has some cool features, you are still getting shit. You know, it's a little over a full decade since those lines were drawn on a proverbial backgrounds, and I like to think we can have an honest, civilized discussion about the merits of Microsoft's muddled message and the inherent pitch behind it all today. Part of what made it easier to buy into Xbox One's whole thing was the console's launch lineup. It's easy to forget that Microsoft and Sony were both apprehensive about launching new consoles. You couldn't go a fortnight without the big-time analysts saying traditional game consoles are over, Everyone plays on their phone and tablet now. Yeah, I remember that. And matter of fact, that was a part of the whole Wii U gimmick there. That was one whole thing about the Wii U gimmick was they're trying to capture that market. Uh, and I'm glad he mentioned Xbox launch lineup because the first matter because let's not forget the first 3 years, the first half of that console generation, Xbox had way more games, way better games than PlayStation. I'm ill to the point where IGN was playing Bloodborne for like a whole year before Uncharted 4 released because there's nothing else to play on that fucking console. In a time where Xbox was getting Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive and Titanfall 1 and all this stuff. In my opinion, Margot Robbie is the hottest woman alive. Hey man, there are a lot of finance women, and Margot is one of them. Yeah, she's a beautiful fucking woman. I can't really argue there. My question was people were up in arms about it being always online, but always went online to complain about it. It's never affected those people. Yeah, and the thing about it, the always online stuff. Yeah, something that is, it could be real hit and miss. Let's not sit here and think that every single thing was brilliant, but they were forward thinking on what they wanted to do. So being able to use your stuff offline is a genuinely good thing. I never understood why people said their communication issues. It seems simple to me. Yeah, I'm with you there, man. Because I remember being super excited for it. Now, at the time, your boy Unlimited was a broke college student, so I wasn't at the point of life where I could just drop $500 on a new console. But I was on gaming forums and stuff, and I'm telling people, man, this shit look cool, and you would get instant backlash. Joe Sinister said, hell, Neil Gaff purged Xbox fans in 2013. If you're even a bit positive about it, you got branded a shill and banned. Yeah, man. That was definitely the worst. That was definitely the worst era of that forum. Then now I didn't really use NeoGAF, but yeah, I'm aware about the shit they used to pull. I said people got dragged, kicking and screaming into the future. That's a great way to put it, shit. No, and now they love it. By the way, now that they got digital games they can't resell, they love it. Xbox One launch was so good. It was ridiculous. Only second to the Dreamcast launch. Yeah, man. That launch, Battlefield 4, Dead Rising 3, Forza Motorsport 5, Rise on the Rome, Killer Instinct. I'm forgetting some other. I think Mass Curse of Brotherhood was also a day one game. Yeah, that was some great stuff they had. But let's get back to it. The two were clearly half in and half out. It's why the PS4 and Xbox One were incredibly underpowered machines and parts meant for power consumption conscious laptop, not like the PC grade components in the PS5 and Series X. I also think that's why we got the mid-gen refresh and why we're not going to get a mid-gen refresh this generation. Because both the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, there are far more powerful consoles released halfway through the generation. And with this one, the Series X has not even been close to being tapped out of what it could do 3 years in. But the ways in which each company approached the generation was clearly different. We're going to get into why that's a bit iffy. You might cringe when you think back on the infamous TV Sports, TV Xbox One reveal, but you could not deny that Microsoft was only taking the 360 to its next logical conclusion. Very true. Microsoft execs said repeatedly that Netflix was the most popular app on the 360, so of course the company dedicated a lot of its resources to positioning the Xbox One as a non-gaming machine. That, however, that last sentence isn't really true. The Xbox One was never positioned as a non-gaming machine. It was positioned as an all-in-one machine. An all-in-one, and because PCs were also doing the all-in-one thing basically at the time. And all it meant at the time was that, hey, your Xbox, not only do you play games, you could use it as your main entertainment hub. That's it. That's all the Xbox One. That's why it's called Xbox One. All because it was literally your all-in-one machine. And people, I know people, but it's the third one, and they call it Xbox One, huh? Microsoft, why do you name it? Yeah, everything was calling their shit One at that time when they were meaning an all-in-one machine. So he's right in the sense that it would Microsoft was just taking it from the next logical conclusion, but he's wrong on saying that it was positioned as a non-game machine. That's just flat. It was never true. What the initial reveal was, they were putting it to a different audience because they literally said that we got E3 coming up, and because E3 was like a month away from the reveal at the time, and so they were going to show the games at E3 and reveal the features now. That's all it was. And gamers and the YouTubers and Angry Joes of the world all pretend that's that hey, where are the games, when they literally said that it was coming during fucking E3. It was aggravating then. It seemed arrogantly that gamers were already on board. The worry was that selling games simply wasn't enough, and hitching your wagon to TV was a way of finding growth elsewhere. It's quite similar to the dilemma of live service versus single-player offline games that publishers continue to grapple with today. The Xbox One launch lineup consists of multiple AAA games, the kind that you buy to show off your expensive new toy. Dead Rising 3, Rise on the Rome, Forza 5, Killer Instinct, and even some fitness game to connect that came to Xbox. This is an open world action shooter game, visually stunning action adventure, a full flat racing game, and a return to beloved fighting game, all in day one. Yes, thank you. By the way, this is I'm not gonna lie. This is arguably the first article, and it sucks it took 10 years, that finally admit how great the fucking launch of the Xbox One was. The launch lineup was fantastic in 2013. Hell, the Xbox One lineup was even better than the Series X lineup in 2020. Like, that lineup was so damn good, right? And at the time when all PlayStation had was like knack or some bullshit. Sure, those games lack depth, and I disagree with that, but you cannot argue the overall quality over quantity. However, misjudged, the whole endeavor was, there's no denying that Xbox One was a bold, expensive console. It's the PS3 to Sony's PS2, so naturally the competition was adamant to go against that. Well, the difference is that the cell processor in the PS3 was such a financial failure for Sony that they haven't recovered from it yet a decade, 15 years later. Hey, what's up, Bob MCPE? Dude, how do you pronounce your username, Bob? Neil Gaff is filled with PlayStation fanboys. Yes, they are. Xbox was going to be always online. Then we were going to buy one game and allowed to share that one game with 9 friends. Yep. And Angry Joe and Myron McCaffrey didn't like that. No, they want to be stuck in current times at the time. No, they want to be stuck in 2006 at the time, right? Where, and again, like Shiznali Lee said some minutes ago, people were pulled kicking and screaming to accept gaming. If it were PS3, PlayStation media were born. Sega Genesis was my first console. What is yours? Yeah, my first was also the Genesis, man. Love that console. Why do they all forget that the reveal was to outline the overall function of the machine? Then they had the second showcase to present all of the games. Yeah, and that second showcase cipher was called E3 2013, which they were literally, they said that so many times in 2013 that it was aggravating Cypher, because it was like everybody was just willingly ignoring what Microsoft was saying to be pissed off at them. Remember that failure piece of shit Knack game that ponies praised when it was clear that the game was proof even PlayStation had bad launch exclusives? Yeah, PlayStation never has good launch, though. Seriously. In PlayStation's history, what was their best launch? Maybe the PlayStation 2. Even that wasn't shit compared to like the Dreamcast launch a few years prior. So yeah, David, the PlayStation has never in its history had a good launch, in my opinion. But back to the article. Rather than try to chase after the same lavish ideas of expanding console gaming beyond gaming, Sony had a more simple and crucially cost-effective strategy. One look at the design, materials, and even packaging of either console will tell you which box was made on a tight budget. Yeah, that's true. Again, what he leaves out is that the PlayStation was such a financial failure that at the time, they were saying the PlayStation 4 could have been Sony's last console. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget around 2013, 2012, 2013 or so, Sony was saying, hey, look, the PlayStation might be our last console, man. And if the media did not fucking carry them, like carry them harder than LeBron used to carry the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, then the place we would not have a PlayStation right now, because that's how bad that fucking cell processor of the PS3 era did them financially. So I find it funny he leaves that part out. And in Sony's case, the reluctance to bet on a whole new generation of console gave us one of the most light launches of PlayStation ever. Sony's only major first-party release was Knack, a family-friendly action platformer. I'm not going to take away from the excellent Gun, but it was a PlayStation Plus bonus from a studio that only made certain type of niche games. The rest of the lineup, all indie games. Wow. Dude, listen, if you had the balls to say that in 2013, like Xbox fans are saying, I would have respected the fuck out of you then. But saying it in 2023 kind of rings hollow, because you're only parroting what people like Hebut would have probably been saying then. What people like Joe Sinister or people like Others Inc. would have been saying at the time, right? And yeah, all they fucking had was Knack and Resogun. Right, and there's a reason why there's a reason why there's no Knack for PlayStation 5 right now, because the shit didn't do well. PlayStation fans didn't fucking buy Knack. They're playing the latest Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and Battlefield 4. While Xbox had those games and the great launch lineups. And the thing about that is that Killer Instinct literally just had a update. Forza is still going strong as the best racing game out there. Dead Rising will have a sequel, and unfortunately, we haven't got a new Rise. But the point is, the PlayStation did not win 8th generation, if you want to call it a win. I don't, because Xbox still made more money. But let's be nice. Let's be nice to say PlayStation did not. Let's say PlayStation won the 8th generation. They did not win it on its own merits. They did not win it because there was just this amazing lineup of games, and they never had. No. The first half of the generation, the PlayStation was worst. Was one of the worst consoles ever, especially in terms of games. And then the second half, they overrated all their fucking games to compensate for the fact that the first half sucked. Sony made the strategic and necessary move to court indies early, in a way no other big boy console ever had. Even the golden age of Xbox Live Arcade were riddled with limitations on game size, patch fees, and other restrictions. The path was clear. Invite as many indies to your stage as you can to boost the lineup with a lot of their work. Two birds, one stone. And again, Ryder, you're missing. Hold on, Ryder. We got to tell the truth. We got to tell the truth, the further truth. While you're right there, you're ignoring the fact that as soon as Sony started to put out games like Uncharted 4, what happened to those indies? That's right, Sony stopped getting a fuck about the indies. I remember articles in 2016 talking about how Sony abandoned the indies, and the indies devs were pissed off. And what year did ID at Xbox start? Because that's another thing. Xbox was already supporting a lot of indies with Xbox Live Arcade, and then the Xbox at ID program, which is still going on now and still a major success for Xbox. I say was even better. Hey, what's up, Faded Blade, man? How are you, my friend? Cypher said, I find it humorous that Rise was the same. I find it humorous they did Rise the same way that 50 Cent did Ja Rule. The same way Fifth clown Jaw for singing Hole doing it afterwards. Rise was the most Sony formula game at the time. Yeah, man. Well, it did have the pretty graphics and the long cutscenes, but the game, yeah, I'm with you there, because the gameplay was also pretty easy. Because I beat the game on the hardest difficulty, and I found that game to kind of be a breeze. So maybe you're not right about it. I enjoyed Rise though. I don't know, man. I don't follow the video game, so whatever leaks happen, I don't give a shit. Anyone seen Jen Ryan signing deals in street clothes? Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious, man. How the new God of War's plays. Hell, the new God of War plays closer to what I would expect Rise sequel to the OG games on PlayStation 2 and 3. Yeah, man. Will Remnant 2 hit game? Yeah, man. I'm gonna install it when I'm done. Right. The article is only hindsight. It's not like it's gonna rewrite history. No. And again, if he was saying this, if this article was from 2013, I would have respected the fuck out of him. But now it's just like he watched a bunch of Hebot other Zinc videos or something and came to the same conclusion they came to a decade ago. Knack was made by that pretend genius Mark Cerny. Then Mark Cerny made Knack 2 that no one asked for. Yo, Zink, you are not kidding, man. Nobody gave a shit about Knack. Listen, if people didn't buy Knack 1, Knack 2 might as well not even exist. So I don't even think I ever seen an unboxing video of that fucking game. Let's be real. Sony console sales are because of support of scalpers. Well, yeah, because I don't know, because let's not forget, at one point, Faded Blaze, over a quarter of all PlayStation 5s that quote unquote sold were never turned on. And so problem Sony is that, and this is why their sales don't mean shit. When them games were sitting in the scalpers' rooms because nobody was trying to pay $900 for a PlayStation fucking 5, that means that PlayStation 5 is not being used. You're not using the store to buy games. You're not playing on it. So the engagement numbers were trash. Also, the PlayStation 4 had a ton of help from Digital Foundry, who made their career on Judgment Resolution, but now, conveniently, is no longer about resolution, but frame rate. Yeah, man. I remember the resolution wars from 2013 to 2017. Then as soon as the Xbox One X came out, even IGN stopped doing resolution comparison. ID at Xbox started in 2014. Well, there you go. And ID at Xbox has done more from indies than Sony has ever done for the indies games. And you can't debate that. Have you played any of the Shadow Warrior games? Yeah, man, and they're all pretty fun. And I think they're on Game Pass as well, Batman. I think the Shadow Warrior games are on Game Pass. Killzone Shadowfall was supposed to show off the PlayStation 4. That game was unoptimized. Even now, Sony still puts out broken, buggy games. Sony lied about the resolution and frame rate of that game. Yeah, so Sony being caught in lies, man. Talk about a more faithful combination. Nah, man, I didn't see that. I guess they praised the PlayStation Portal. But back to the article here. Sony made the strategic and necessary move to court indies early. Oh, no, I already read that part. But there were still unresolved issues, such as the difference in price, $400 to $500, and the juggernaut topic of used games. Which, that whole used game thing ended up being bullshit, right? Because y'all, again, 80 to 90% of gamers, y'all buy digitals. You can't even trade this shit that y'all used to pretend you did. But by the way, for all my digital gamers out there, what did y'all do with your old physical games? I guarantee, I bet y'all didn't even trade the old physical shit when you went digital. That it should your physical games are probably sitting in the basement or you threw them away. If I was a betting man, there is no single thing worth remembering about the used game fight than the fact that Sony went second at that fateful E3. Yeah, and going second was the only benefit they had, because they didn't have the better games, they didn't have the better console, they didn't have the better features, they didn't push games forward, they didn't do nothing creativity. They just went second and reacted to the feedback to the Xbox One. It offered it to the luxury of reacting to whatever Microsoft said and undermine the competition anytime the green team floundered. There is no doubt in mind that Sony also considered a ban on used games. Thank you. Again, I wish this was a 2013 article, because what he said is straight facts. Sony was going to do the same exact thing Microsoft was saying. And while they did that whole "this is how you share games" bullshit, they're going to have a camera as well. They're going to do all the same shit. But the only benefit is that they went second, and Xbox took all the hate, while Sony just pretended that they were never going to do it, and people said that they won. I mean, they didn't make more money than Xbox, so I don't know how they won, but still. Remember, this was an era of the online pass, the day one DLC using content on disk. Any given publisher number one concern was used games. So I find it a little hard to believe that it was evil Microsoft that woke up one day and just decided to propose the solution, not the publishers who could not shut up about how used game sales are hurting gaming, calling it worse than piracy. Yeah, I remember that time too. I remember that time. Like, for example, for those who don't know what he's talking about, for example, if you played a Ubisoft game, it would have that online, like, game will have this online pass, right? You could only play online if you put in that code and stuff like that. And so yeah, it was a weird time. And again, the seven, as much as people look back fondly at the seventh generation, it did a lot of harm to gaming. And because the jump to HD was so expensive. That's why that era we probably lost more developers and publishers than any generation outside of the gaming crash of the 80s, because gaming was so expensive. Jumping to HD, that a lot of these developers and publishers did not realize that making their games in HD, like, were, you had to sell way more than they originally thought to make up that cost. And so what was happening is that even games that sold 2-3 million would have been considered a financial failure because of the cost of development. That's why there was this backlash against used games at the time. And yes, Sony was going to 100% be on board, but again, since they went second, that's the only literally the only advantage they had, because they had nothing else over Microsoft at the time. Sony saw an opportunity and took it, securing a win before either console went on sale, even after Microsoft quickly scrapped its most hated plans. But there's something that's well worth revisiting, and it's the vision that Xbox was trying to sell us in 2013, which is very much reality in 2023, and one that remains ages ahead of anything Sony has to offer. Again, I can't argue that. You know, the Xbox Series X generation is the culmination of work that Microsoft flaunted back in 2013. Almost everything I like about modern Xbox experience started out as something I believed in back then when I bought the day one edition. And man, people like Zinc, Joe Sinister, Daya, they've been saying this forever. The Xbox ecosystem of today is one where I can take my controller to a friend's house along with an external drive full of games. All I need to do is sign in, copy the game to the internal hard drive if they're next gen, and play. Hell, dude, if you have the expansion card, you don't even need to do that. You just take your expansion card, plug into the back of the Xbox Series X or S, and play. The console doesn't care what the games come from, and it would only ask if the license for the game wasn't digital. If the console remains online, family sharing allows my friends to play games they do not own, just because I am logged in and do own it. If they buy it, the token is unlocked. They can continue playing without losing progress. The next time I'm over there, I just need to bring the same controller. The Xbox, which can assign a controller to an account, immediately recognizes me, loads up my dashboard, and lets me access any game I own. Save files, achievements, and anything else I can customize travels with me. Yeah, again, this is why that whole part he put there is why I'm not reactionary. That's why your boy Unlimited, as soon as something come out, I rarely just jump to the most extreme reaction. Oh, this sucks. This is the worst thing ever. Oh, that's a great fucking thing. No. A lot of times you gotta let this stuff play out, right? You gotta let it play out. And now that Xbox Vision has played out a decade later, oh, it turns out it's fucking fantastic, huh? Funny how that works. Xbox Series S and X consoles now even allow you to download games you do not own, just to have them ready when you get home and can actually make the purchase. Yeah, I love that feature. I'm not gonna lie. If it's a game that I buy physically, for example, I'll install it. Then when I buy my game, boom, just pop it in and get ready to play. They didn't have to have a distinct. They don't have a distinction between disc-based and digital games. You can just copy files of a different Xbox and take it to your own save bandwidth and time. Yeah, again, love that feature. Remember, the start of this generation when people mistakenly downloaded PlayStation 4 games to their PlayStation 5 consoles because the UI was so underbaked that it wasn't immediately clear which version was which. Remember now, Xbox has never ran into that problem because Xbox consoles only download the version that's right for them. Boom. And by the way, when people were saying stuff like smart delivery was a gimmick, I'll say no, it's not. It's a brilliant feature, and he just explained perfectly why. Because the PlayStation fans, like a lot of you PlayStation fans, y'all are playing the PlayStation version game that y'all pretending. See, y'all pretending look better, but it's the same fucking game. Well, on the Xbox, you never had that issue because of smart delivery. Cypher said, "Let's clarify. If Richard Ledbetter had trashed it, if it was John Linnerman, he would have completely gushed over it." I'll have to check that video out. I already see ABK games pending in the Microsoft store. Oh, good find there, Faded Blaze. I cared so much about physical games. Then I found an old 360 case, and that son of a bitch was empty. That $7.9 billion lawsuit is going to potentially ruin Sony, but they out here talking about Starfield. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, here's the thing, Faded Blaze. PlayStation fans has never, in their existence, cared or held Sony to a standard. It's just Xbox. Uncharted 2 had that online pass, by the way. Oh, that's right. It did, Joe. And 3. Yeah, man. Again, weird era, man. Because, like I said, the games were so expensive, and that's why they're complaining about used games, man. A lot of games that even if you looked on paper, which has sold millions, was still financial failure. The dozen publishers would have went under at that time. So when people look back at the 7th generation, I say yeah, it was a great generation. Don't get me wrong, but it was probably one of the worst in terms of like how we consume gaming and how the gaming media and the price of the game and stuff. What's your type? Music? Mine is metal music and Mexican music. Yeah. Huge. My favorite genre, the R&B, man. Especially some of the classic R&Bs, man. Like, man, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, those 4 decades, probably some of my favorite stuff. You know, I listen to some rap and hip hop, not the modern stuff. Modern rap is trash, though. I enjoy some rock here and there too. Xbox learned that you can be too early or too late. Yeah, Relish, and it's better to be too early. I've seen Unlimited Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 were on fire for Cybertron. On the Xbox store, really? Listen, one of my biggest regrets was not buying them games when they were remastered at the time. And I had no clue Activision was going to lose their license. So after they did and they were removed from stores, I was pissed. There was an Xbox One owner who hacked his Xbox One in 2013, trying to enable backwards compatibility until halfway through Xbox One Life when Phil announced backwards compat in 2015. That wasn't even halfway through. That was 2 years into the generation that we got backwards compatibility. But yeah, let's get back to this, man. And why go back that far? Let's see how the current game patching experience is on PlayStation 5. It's exactly like PlayStation 4, just a little bit faster thanks to the storage. By that I mean, if you want to download a 10 gigabyte patch for a 100 gigabyte game, you need to have 220 gigabytes of free storage. 10 years later, Sony could not find a better solution to file corruption than using an unpatched copy as fallback. Xbox never had this problem. A lot of these checks rely on having a connected console, which Microsoft assumed everyone would have had in 2013. The reality wasn't so progressive, but 10 years later, all of us choose to be online, and many of us benefit every day from these innovations that, yes, require an internet connection. Excuse me. The 2013 aspirations were clearly too ambitious, but it made modern Xbox experience all the better. Yeah, again, this article, I had to tackle it because when I saw that 10 years later, 10 years too late in a way, but man, the shit blew my mind. I have a physical copy of Blur. Hey, that's what's up, Faded Base. All right, guys, but with that, I think I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you, everyone, for joining. You know, I had a great time hanging out with the chat. You guys were fantastic. Yeah, I love discussing gaming with y'all, man. Y'all are just wonderful. This was just something I was just doing. Every once in a while, your boy Unlimited just like to come out here, hang out with y'all. The Unlimited Truth with everybody, with the whole crew, will be returning soon. We're going to do our favorite games of the year show in December, so join us with that. Start thinking about your favorite games as well, as 2023 was absolutely fantastic. And with that, guys, you have a good night. Hey, good night, Joe Sinster. And I am out.